Hello, it's December the 21st and I can't tell you how pleased I am to have got to this day because it means as from tomorrow onwards we are heading towards summer and that is just a good thing. Now today I've had quite a productive day. After Mr. J had gone to work this morning, I don't know what possessed me, but I put together another raised bed. So that was good news. That's one that's to go around the strawberries, which are not in the bed that I've already done, obviously. But further down the annual vegetable garden, there's a bed that I planted up. Anyway, I put a frame around it. And later on in the year I will fill that with compost. Well, I'll lift the plants that are in it out first. I'll fill it with compost and I'll replant those strawberry plants in there. And I've also got something called a pine berry, which looks like a strawberry and behaves like a strawberry and sort of tastes like a strawberry, but apparently it's also got like a pineapple-y taste to it. So it doesn't, when I say it looks like a strawberry, it's the same shape and it's got the seeds on the outside and everything, but it's white with little red seeds, or maybe it has pink seeds, but anyway it's white rather than red. And now this morning I'm cooking. I've done another one of those huge cauldrons of food to divide up into portions to get into the freezer. And right now, you need to come with me. I have started making some fudge, which is my dad's recipe. So it's a family tradition. And I think I was telling you yesterday, after my dad died, I took over making this fudge. And today I am going to I'm making a huge amount actually. It's not a healthy thing at all. This is a Christmas treat, and I'm making large volume because I want to have a little bit for us, but I am doing a box of it for my sister, and a box for my daughter's family, and for our neighbours, and for a couple of our egg customers. Who have just been absolutely lovely throughout the year, and if I can save some without eating it, without anyone else eating it, our tree surgeon will also have a little bit. Now the thing about this fudge is that it needs to be stirred constantly for the next 20 minutes or so, so that it doesn't stick to the base of the pan. We don't want that to happen. So we could have a bit of a chat, couldn't we? I've lit a fire. It doesn't sound like it's doing terribly well, but I have lit a fire, and the oven is on, and hopefully the kitchen will warm up nicely now, because it has been a bit nippy in here. What should we talk about? Well, I could have a bit of a whinge about something I saw on telly the other day, which was all about what you're going to get for Christmas. I sat down in front of the camera and talked about this the other day, but I haven't included it in a vlog yet because I didn't know if I wanted to. And given I think I said what I wanted to say quite well, I'm now going to insert what I was talking about the other day now. Hello, it's 7:30 in the morning and Mr. J has already left for work, and it sounds to me like my voice hasn't quite woken up yet, so excuse the croakiness, but I've been awake since 4 or just after 4, and there was no point in going back to sleep because we get up at 5 for Mr. J to head off to work, or at least in this run up to Christmas bit. Anyway, I lay in bed having a bit of a think when I woke up and thought, I've seen an awful lot on telly, on social media recently about what people would like for Christmas. When I was small, my parents took me to our local church each Christmas morning. Well, we had our Christmas stockings and had breakfast, and then we went off to church. And then when we got back, about 11:15, 11:30, we opened our presents, and then we had Christmas lunch. And pretty much after that, my dad would go back to work. I don't know how much he needed to go to work and how much he had just had enough of family stuff. But anyway, can you blame him? It's a bit chaotic, 4 children racing around. Anyway, so that was what happened on Christmas morning as a child. And one of the things that used to happen in church every year was that we were allowed to take one gift that we had for Christmas to the church and share with the congregation what we've been given. Now, obviously, we couldn't do this because we didn't open our gifts until after our church service. So there was always a bit of, oh, you know, so-and-so's got to this and so-and-so's got that. As I've got older, I've started to think that actually that vicar and all those people who are posting what I want type things might not be entirely right. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying he was wrong. But I think the question shouldn't be, what did you get for Christmas? I think it should be, what did you give? Well, that's the fudge finished. Oh, do you know, I've actually sampled so much of this as it was cooking. I now feel very slightly sick. But there is only one person to blame for feeling slightly sick at eating too much fudge. That would be me. And I've probably still got it all around my mouth. It's really lovely stuff, but it is incredibly sweet. You only want a little bit at a time, and I was sampling it. A little bit was out of greed, I'll be honest, but I was sampling it to see if it was ready yet, because all of my family prefer fudge when it's still quite soft, and it's not quite a toffee, but more like a toffee than a very crystallised fudge. So I was just checking to see how far in its cooking it had got and whether it was ready to pop into trays. And I'm only guessing. I can only guess because I don't have the skill that my dad had, which was to know. He just knew when it was ready. But maybe that's because he'd made it so many times. Now there's just 2 more things left for me to make for my sister. That's some brandy butter and some bread sauce. Brandy butter I'll do tomorrow, and the bread sauce I will do on Sunday, just before I go and see her. So that's me sorted for Christmas. Both my daughter and my sister get a small box of homemade goodies, things that I've made throughout the year from our harvest, and if they're very lucky they might get a bottle of wine. And I bought some small gifts for the children. Having stood in front of the oven while it was cooking the mince beef and standing over the stove while I was stirring that fudge, I'm now really hot. So I'm going to make a cup of tea, sit down, put my feet up, and I'm going to get on with a bit more of my course. And so, wherever you are in the world and whatever you're up to today, I hope you get the chance to put your feet up at some point, and I also hope you can join me again tomorrow.